Doing
Nobody
good, man.
heard that. I don't think anybody heard that intro. Woo! We're here with This is Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio, and we are here with Tom Tumath, Tumath from
That's right.
Pure Water Power and CWC. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How are you guys?
We are doing just wonderful. Unfortunately, it's now gotten warm, and I can't stand it being warm. You know what I mean? Who likes it being warm?
Oh boy.
Especially with that park or field jacket you got on.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just a hoodie. You know?
Oh, okay. It looks like a field jacket. Yeah, I see it now. Okay.
It's just a hoodie. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I had to represent the Browns today, so people will be all butthurt about what the Cleveland Browns did.
They're stacking the team. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. What do you mean we're stacking the team? We can't help we're the best.
They're going to be. I already told you I'm on that train.
Jacob Williams, you were first. Jacob Williams said who's first. But we're here with Tom Tumath, and you, what all do you sell at Pure Water Power? What do you guys?
Anything and everything to do with window cleaning, squeegees, poles, mops, all of it, chemicals.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know you guys sold regular window cleaning supplies, like normal.
Yeah, just like what you'd pick up at some of the competitors I have that you probably buy from. So we're all very similar. A lot of the products we sell have our own little perks here and there, and they have theirs. So there's a little bit of distinguishing products, but for the most part, we're very similar.
Okay. And what's the name of the website? Where would people go?
CWCSupplyUSA.com.
Okay. There you go.
I'm on it right now.
You're on it right now?
Website. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
There?
It's an impressive. Well, they got window cleaning supplies, water-fed pole systems, water reclaim. That would be for pressure washing supply division. They've got everything in here. I mean, I've bought from you before, but honestly, it's like, holy cow, you guys got a lot of good stuff on here. I'm going to be checking this out. Definitely.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So
you sell high-rise gear, right? You sell high-rise gear?
You sell. Oh, okay. So you sell top to bottom. Top to bottom. You're okay. Well, now. So how did you? Did you came from window cleaning? I assume.
I started the window cleaning service back in '96. Didn't know what I wanted to do, but came across that. Actually, went through the phone book just trying to find something that wasn't saturated, and came across window cleaning and started that up right out of the gate, and did that till I sold it in 2008.
Okay. So you just went out, you looked through the phone book, like, there's not a lot of window cleaners in here.
I wanted something that wasn't saturated.
Who taught you how to clean windows? Yourself? You just said
nobody. I did. I learned on my own.
Wow.
The first house was a lot of fun.
Right. I can imagine.
A job that should have taken 45 minutes and have taken 4 hours, but that's the way it goes.
Right.
And then I just progressed and hired somebody who knew what they were doing and learned and got better, and ended up having like 3 crews, and we did that for about 10 years. Or longer than that, about 13 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's about 13 years, yeah. Jeez. And then you were just like, screw it, now I'm going to start selling supplies, or?
Yeah, I started CWC back in 2003, and just wanted something different. Employees were a little bit tough sometimes to on, and so I wanted to do something that was going to be, I thought, less headache, but it turned out to be a bigger headache. But in the end, I'm glad I did it. Yeah, so I transitioned into CWC Supply, and ended up selling the window cleaning business about 5 years after I started CWC. Once we got it to a point to support us, then we sold the window cleaning company.
Nice. So how do you see the market in sales? Because, I'm a loyal guy. If your stuff comes to my house pretty quick, I don't care if it's 10% more, 5% less.
So you don't want to wait like 80 days for things.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all about the service. I make it. Some people frown on it. I buy a lot of stuff from ABC because if I order it on Monday, I have it on Thursday. And I don't wait till the last minute to buy anything, but it's like when I pay for something, I want it, so,
Just everybody else in the same boat. And, for the most part, our orders go out complete. You get back orders here and there, but for the most part, we ship 100%. And that's saying, if you order with us by 2 p.m. Pacific, that orders go out that day unless something abnormal happens. So
wow.
And where do you ship out of? What state do you ship out of? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. That's cool.
Nice.
So
Nice.
so let me ask you, the challenges in sales of window cleaning equipment and dealing with window cleaners who practically want everything for free or going to complain about a piece of equipment because they probably don't know how to use it, versus the challenges of running a window washing service. What do you adhere, what do you like better or appreciate more out of either side? Because I'm sure sometimes you go, if we were just washing windows, we'd be collecting money and I wouldn't have to deal with all this. If you have shipping issues or someone returning something that they broke or something got broke in transit, how do you, what do you look at as something you appreciate more? Which one?
They both have their pros and cons. Window cleaning in a lot of ways was easier. It was just easy to go out and do your job. You're done, you come home, whatever. You have your issues in there, of course, but supplies, different set of problems. Getting inventory in, getting it out in a timely manner. Things like you said do get damaged in shipping.
Someone actually has a question for you. Ryan Heisler wants to know if you guys ship edibles for window cleaners from California.
Yeah, not yet.
No,
not
you
yet.
don't do that yet. What's up, Mike? That's cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Hey, I can't share at all on Facebook. I can't share.
Well, you know what, man? We got 15 people watching just from Facebook or from YouTube notifications,
Yeah.
so that's a good feeling there. Something's going on with the Facebooks, man.
Yeah,
Have you
I
guys
can't
noticed that?
Hey, I can't share anything.
Facebook is being hacked right now. The whole world's gonna crash. You know what's gonna happen with if Facebook's down? You know what I mean? What are they gonna do? I mean, I don't know who I'm gonna talk
freaking
to.
out, man.
Probably get rid of some stress.
Right?
So,
Can I
if
go
you're
ahead,
on
Tim?
here, do us a favor and start sharing this in all the groups because I can't share.
Yeah,
So
if you guys can share it because we can't share
I'll try.
it.
Yeah.
Mark's going to try, but
Yep.
we're having Facebook problems. But a lot of, some people will, hey, the big squeegee's here. Some people can't live without that Facebook. So, I like to watch the videos. I have a problem where if I see one street fight, like hour later, I will look up from the phone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
that's
where
because
am I
it keeps
at?
giving them to you too.
Huh?
It keeps giving them to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
They'll give you an advertisement and another one.
I'm that way too.
Yeah. It figures out what you're watching and throws as much of that shit as it can to you. You know what I mean?
Hey, T.
Come on.
Hey, T, check it out.
Oh,
That's badass.
I like it. Well,
Yeah,
Mark got
I
a deluxe pack of stickers. I mean, the dude bought like $200 and some odd dollars worth of T-shirts. So I was like, I got to give this dude like everything. You know what I mean?
It's for a good cause, man.
He's got a pair of underwear and everything. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Silent.
squeegee panties.
Yeah, man.
T-squeegee panties. Well, I would
Yeah,
like to tell you right now here publicly, the
Excuse
winner
me, one
is
thing.
actually. Go ahead.
TJ, one thing. I thought it was torn, but when I got the T-squeegee panties, they had a fly in the front and the back. What's
Yes.
that all about?
Listen.
Somebody was thinking ahead.
Yeah. Hey, listen. You got to be like a Boy Scout. You always got to be prepared. But I would like to thank you for the Viper Pole giveaway. Jason Lehman is in the chat here. He was the prize winner, which everyone thought it was fixed, but it wasn't fixed. I was really surprised. I thought he was going to give it away. He's like, nope, I want that. I was like, oh, okay. I want to thank you for that. That was cool, man.
Yeah, no worries, man. Glad to do it. So get somebody a poll and they could use it and get your name out there a little bit. So it's a win-win for everybody.
It's a win-win, and from what Jason says, he likes it. He says it's a good poll. So go ahead, Mark. What were you going to say, buddy? Were you going to say something? Oh, Mark.
What I was going to say is,
Mark got
yeah,
froze
you might.
there.
Am I still frozen?
No,
No,
you're good
no,
now.
no.
You're good now.
Okay. Okay, Tom, I was just wondering if you could possibly invite Jason Lehman to your warehouse, your storage facility for your stuff, and just let him go nuts on some of your equipment, because you sent that pole to someone who's going to use it in very strange ways.
Yes.
They're going to put it through its paces.
Yeah. Jason is next level.
You come out anytime.
Yeah. Well, Jason is, if you don't know him personally, he goes well over 6 foot. He's a very large man.
Yeah.
And
anybody's large.
Yeah, and he still hasn't realized that he's not fit to pole vault. Let's just put it that way. But he might try with your pole.
Right. Yeah.
Good luck with that one.
He does everything with his water-fed poles. Cleans gutters.
Seems like he's a pretty busy guy. Yeah.
He does windows, gutters, everything with the water-fed pole. He says he hardly ever gets off the ground onto a ladder, which is cool. I told him he needs to get a camera. I was like, you need to get a GoPro and show everybody how you're doing this.
Right.
Because clearly he's getting he's got customers. He says, I'll beat the shit out of it.
Yeah.
He will. He will beat the shit out of it.
So
go
I
ahead,
have a
Mark.
question.
Yeah.
Tom, I've seen a lot of videos lately of, especially because it was IWCA, and I had noticed some new videos of some of your new pure water power equipment, and they look, TJ and I were talking privately. I go, that thing looks like it could be dropped off a building and it's not going to get scratched.
Yeah.
They look relatively tough.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Due to the fact that I wouldn't say the market is saturated, but it seems like at least once or twice a year, a new system similar to yours, or some differences. What was your motivation into building your own pure water system while you sell others on your website?
It all started about 3-4 years ago when we had manufacturers that we purchased from. I won't name them, but you guys all know who they are. They'd run into issues where we might not see the systems from them for 2 or 3 months. And so for the most part, we were able to get them, but too many times it was happening where we're getting too many delays. So we decided to correct that problem. And if we don't have it, it's our fault now and then somebody else. So that's originally why we did get into selling our own systems. And of course, other competitors of mine that brought in their systems. It's not something I really wanted to do. It was something I was forced to do to stay competitive. And that's where it really came from. So it was a combination of those two things. So we just brought in our own systems and poles, and we didn't have the little beast yet. We just had the carts, and they've been moving really well and selling them. And so we decided to stick with it. And that's the main reason why we brought it in, was just because to stay competitive.
So as the only guy here that doesn't use water-fed pole, and if I was in the market for a water-fed pole and I was looking at your pole, what is the difference in? I mean, what is your pole comparable to? What's your difference in your pole compared to the other guys? What's the value of your pole? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of poles out there. Things have changed in the last 10 years. It's just dramatically gotten oversaturated, and more seem to come out, every month or every year.
I guess it's not so much about the pole and water-fed pole, is it? It's more, as long as you got the not too much flex, it's more about the brush, right? Would you guys agree?
It's about all of it.
If
you go back 15 years ago when I first started selling supplies, we had an aluminum tucker pole available, and Tory had the Aqua Clean line, which was a fiberglass pole at the time. I think there might have been another one mixed in there. I think IPC had one. And, they were heavier. They since gone to carbon fiber, hybrid and carbon fiber, which makes the pole lighter. So that was a big issue to look at. And then the rigidity of the pole, of course. But it all boils down to cost. Anybody could buy a top end pole and pay $3-4 grand for it. We wanted to come out with something that was in the middle of the pack, but had good rigidity and good weight. We wanted to find a pole that may not be the lightest pole, but it's going to be one of the most rigid poles out there. And to me, that's the biggest thing in water-fed poles. If it's a pound or two heavier, it's not as big of an issue as if the pole is rigid or not, because there's been some poles through the years, and it's a learning curve for everybody. Every manufacturer that has poles goes through it. Some of those things are flimsy, and the key is rigidity of the pole. I mean, if it's a pound or two,
I agree with that. I agree with that, and I also would like to say that I've said on this podcast and several videos, I mean, numerous times, I think poles are starting to get too light, a little less, you know what I mean? I know they need to be rigid, and, rigid and light is perfect, but you got to find that perfect balance. Because if the pole is too light, you're not going to get a good scrub at height. If it's too flimsy, you're not going to get a good scrub at height. You know what I mean? You need to find that nice middle ground. You know what I mean? Some poles, they'll belly when you push on them. You just want all that power transferred straight away to, you know what I mean, at height. I mean, that's what it's for. If it doesn't do a good job in my opinion, if it doesn't do a good job between 4 stories and below, what are you really doing? You know what I mean? Because anything above, I think, is, like the 72-foot pole. I know there's I know Philip knows. It's just, that's guys want to go higher. Philip Alexander thinks he could do 100, which is just insane. It's just, Yeah,
there's a point. I mean, there is a point where, we have a 65-foot pole, the Viper pole, and it's a true 65, and it's actually 67 with the gooseneck that we have on it now. But, I mean, you try to clean a 7-story window with any water-fed pole, it's not easy.
Man. It's not easy. It's tough. I mean, it's nice to have that option. If that's your only option to do the glass, and that's the only way to get it done, you know what I mean, then I understand. But if you can get a guy on a chair on a rope down to it, that's probably the best way to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, there's a fine line.
Yeah, for sure. But going back to the Viper pole, there's lighter poles out there that are more costly. They're thinner walled. They're, in the end, they might be lighter, but in the end, you got to weigh out, the tube thickness. It's lighter, but now the poles half the strength of what it should be, and they can't take the abuse every day, and they'll start cracking. We kind of goofed around with a thinner walled pole that was set up for ergonomic use, where it only, instead of being able to lock it in every inch of the pole, it had a raised section in the top, the middle, and the bottom, and you can only go to those points to lock in the clamps. And it was to make the pole lighter and to make sure people extended it properly and on and on. But in the end, the walls were just too thin, and it was cracking. And that's a lot of the problems going on today with some of the thinner walled poles. They might be lighter, but they're not going to take the abuse that a lot of the poles do. But there's a lot of different carbon fibers out there. There's Kevlar, there's 3K, and the wall thickness. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into various water-fed pole lines.
I tell you what,
and we want to find
now,
something in the middle.
Yeah, I've got a couple of. I've had different brands of water-fed poles, and clamps, stiffness. As long as all that stuff is solid, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the price is right. If the price is right,
Yeah.
Right. It sounds like you've done your research and through trial and error. You know what you found a good pole.
We've gone through a little bit of trial and error. I mean, this is our third line getting dialed in. So we think we've got, price-wise and wall thickness and rigidity. Our pole, at the price range of the Viper pole, it's the most rigid pole out there for its price range. I won't say it's the most rigid pole out there because it's not. There are some more rigid poles, but we've tested our poles range. A majority of even the upper end poles, and our poles come out more rigid. We don't promote it. We don't knock other poles. I don't believe in that, but I've tested against many of the top brands out there, and even with the extra section, our poles are more rigid than theirs.
So how much you talking to get in business with your system?
Like the cost for somebody to get a system and a pole?
Yeah.
It depends on what system, but they can get a single RO cart and a 35-foot pole for, like $2,200.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
a little beach model.
That's not bad, actually.
Most systems are about that price, aren't they?
That's not bad.
So
for like just the DI tank, that's about what you usually pay.
Yeah, we're comparable. We might be a tad bit under most of them out there, but we're right there. We don't want to undercut the market at all.
I want to have a question for you, Tom. But before I go to that, a lot of companies out there, and I just say multiple companies out there, are sometimes, I believe, and it's my opinion as a window cleaner, fixing a problem that doesn't exist by creating a bunch of stuff that you really don't need, and fancy colors, because colors sell. I mean, let's be real. I've walked into the trade shows and seen purple brushes and green brushes and blue brushes, and I'm like, who do I pay? And it's no better than anything else, but you kind of get drawn into that. So, and my question to you, Tom, is I'm looking at your polls here on your website. It looks like it comes with a Tucker brush, but is that a unique brush that just kind of resembles a Tucker brush, being red with a?
No, it's a Tucker brush.
Okay, so you don't manufacture brushes; you put a Tucker brush on it.
I feel that Tucker has an excellent brush, and they've given us the okay to use them. I've used the Tucker brush before Sean Gavin purchased them. The old guy, Robin Tucker, back in the day when I first started window cleaning. I've always liked their brushes. I've tested just about every brush out there, and cost-wise and what that brush does, it's just, to me, as a window cleaner and a seller, you can't beat it. It's a tight brush. I've used 5 or 6 different brands, and I won't say I always go back to it when I try something else, but it's always there. And every time I put it on the glass, I know it's going to do a good job. I love the hybrid with the boar's hair in the middle and the nylon on the outside.
I got to use mine earlier this week.
Yeah, it's sweet.
In fact, most of the guys lately have been buying Viper pulls. They're upgrading to that brush you just talked about because it's so hard. Yeah.
It's a good brush. Great. I was actually really surprised while using. I was like, "Well, shit!" I once I get more footage, it'll be on YouTube. But right now, it is what it is. I like Tucker brushes. Tucker brushes are cool, man.
Yeah, but in my opinion, it's for what's out there. To me, it's the best brush out there, and that's from a window cleaner. In my window cleaning days, using them too. So
the one thing I will say is, and I've heard it. I don't know if it's rumored. I don't know if it's been stated factually, but I've once either been told or read that Tucker uses DuPont bristles in their brush. Now, DuPont has a good name across the board. It's like 3M. Whatever they make is good stuff. So it might be a little more money, but it's good stuff. And the one thing I notice about my Tucker brush is I could put that thing bristle side down in my toolbox and not use it for 2 weeks and take it out, and the bristles are still straight up. I don't have the curling issue. As a matter of fact, I told a story. I had a hydraulic cylinder sitting in the bed of my truck that leaked oil, and my Tucker brush got into that oil, and I cleaned the thing up, scrubbed it out, and it's still as good as the day. It hasn't lost a bristle. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to screw with it, and a lot of guys like to mess around with their equipment. I alter some things here and there, but for the most part, I want it to work every time I plug the hose.
We actually have a question. Somebody's getting a phone call. We actually have a question. Ryan King would like to know, what is the best way to unclog a water-fed pole, the jets on the brush? What's the best way to do that, Marcus?
I carry. You go to you can actually go to Harbor Freight. Welding tip cleaners. Mm-hmm. They're little serrated stainless steel, different diameter wires. And it comes in a nice little aluminum case that you open it up and you just pick which one you need. And not only because they're serrated, if you want to open up one of your jet holes a little bit, even if it's like brass, a brass jet, it will, because it's made to clean a brass tip on a cutting torch.
On a cutting torch.
Yeah,
I swiped the set from my cousin.
I've never had one clog. I mean, that's the first time the question's ever been asked to me. I've never seen anybody have a clogged tip out of their brush.
No.
But good
well,
point.
if you have pencil jets, it's a lot less frequent. Now you're seeing more clogs because people are running rinse bars, which could be 15 jets that are very small to still give you that distance and pressure you want.
Sometimes and they are some of them, the plastic breaks off in there and you get plastic particles and shit stuck on the inside.
I don't know, but I heard a rumor if you buy a case of Cracker Jack boxes, you might get a replacement rinse bar.
There's a possibility.
Yeah, it could
There's
be.
a possibility. I got a question for you, and I've tried to ask it 3 times, but Mark's got good questions, and so does Tim, which is not normal for this kind of podcast. I would like to know. So, when you were cleaning glass, what was your go-to set of tools? What did you always have on your hip or in your bucket? Your squeegee, your washer.
I was a big fan of Tory products. I goofed around going back to through Unger and maybe Pull X a little bit, Saucony, but I like the brass Tory, the 1339 handles, what I call it. It's the brass handle with the rubber grip, quick release, and brass channels. That was my squeegee.
Cool.
I used the Triumph scraper, and I kept it simple. I didn't like a bunch of stuff hanging on me, so I had a pouch with a towel, a scraper, a squeegee, and a T-bar, and that's pretty much my.
Man after Tim's heart, man. He's Professor Ederay over there. Don't mess around.
I'll give a Tory a little plug. They're all quality. I don't want to not give the other ones their rightful props, but
I'm an Unger guy myself, so it goes multiple ways.
But I like that Ninja. If I was out in the field still, I might goof around with that Ninja a little bit.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, Tom. There's a certain supplier I order off of, and they sell 3 packs of rubbers. I don't use a lot of Sorbo rubbers out on the field, so I don't buy them by the dozen. So I can buy it by the 3-pack. Is that something you guys do through CWC?
We kind of keep it to 12 packs. I have done it for people as favors and stuff, and we just don't get into the. We get them packed at 12, and
so you can't go in the convenience store and buy 1 cigarette. What do you mean, dude?
I'm trying.
Yo, let me get one of those Newports. Here's a quarter.
I just don't.
How much for 1 rib?
I just want 1 bone.
A full rack and a half rack. How much? I
just want 1.
I figured I'd ask.
It is a common question, though. I mean, there are a lot of people that just want to come in and buy 1 rubber. That's like, what? You're gonna come back tomorrow and buy another one? Or, I don't know, man.
I just don't do. I do literally 7 commercial accounts a month, so it's like I don't do rubbers.
He doesn't. He doesn't really use his wide body channel.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it as a favor for people. I have. So I mean, I would do it. We just don't promote it.
Yeah.
If you're like a super duper tightwad like Tim, he might break you off one. He'll just gonna take the rubbers, 1 dozen. He's going to take 1 dozen of 18-inch Sorbo rubbers, write Tim on the package, and set it in his office desk, and then send you out 1 at a time as you need them.
Send me a 1 a month. I'll be a rubber a month club.
Just pay him ahead of time, and he'll just send you 1.
I got the good side of that is you're not spending a lot of money on squeegee rubber, because squeegee rubber is probably the most pricey thing that you're going to have to maintain at the window cleaner. I mean, it's getting out of control.
It is, but I mean, compared to other industries, come on.
Oh,
if you're an electrician, go look at a pair of Klein.
Oh, yeah. No,
you'll pay $75 for a pair of nippers.
That's so true. Weigh out what it's doing for you, and it's nothing.
Listen, one thing I want to interject here, Tim. If you use Sorbo, you can buy, let's say, a dozen 6-inch pre-cut Sorbos for probably the price of 2 18s or 22s. So my suggestion is buy a dozen 6-inch, and if you put them in the top groove, the 6-inch will stretch to 22 inches and still work. As long as it's in the top groove, Tim.
I'm going to try that. As ridiculous as that sounds, I'm going to do it.
Just grab it and tug on it.
That's great. Up with a heat gun first, though.
Right.
There you go.
So, do you have any more? Either one of you have any? Does anyone have any questions for Mark? Anyone? We got to ask Mark technical questions. Does anyone have any more technical questions for Mark? He's the smartest man in window cleaning. He's not the richest man anymore. Yeah. No, he's decided that he isn't all of a sudden, which everyone knows is not true.
I'll tell you what I saw today. A building that I had for about 10 years is finally doing some pressure washing, and they're painting the frames. And I was watching the guys on a swing stage watching windows. We share the job, but they have swing stage because they're pressure washing and painting the frames. And then another company came in, and I'm watching them, and I see this guy cleaning these windows that are like 5 foot wide and about 8-9 foot tall with like a 10-inch mop. And I'm like, who would put a 10-inch mop on a window of that size? Well, then I realized they were crystal clearing the entire building Now, there's 3 buildings. There's 6 stories. Each one probably has 600 windows. So my guess is going to be by the time they finish 1,800 windows, they will destroy at least 10 to 15. And I'm just looking at them going, I want them to come down so I could tell them, listen, I don't want your work. You're doing the wrong thing, because this place in 6 months to a year, even if you don't haze anything with those chemicals, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah. I also see you're doing a restoration work on a 20-story building, correct? That you've already done it on. I seen you were getting a lot of roasting about it, like you should have done it right the first time, you big dummy.
Yeah.
What was the chemical you were using?
He doesn't.
Well, I don't use any chemicals,
okay.
Tom. I'm a mechanical polishing guy. But I can back up and tell you the entire story. On that building, I've cleaned for 16 years. 12 years, no, about 14 years ago, we crystal cleared the entire building because it's glass stone, and it was built in 1986. So the silicate stains and mineral deposits on the glass were horrendous. I didn't know what I know now. So we acid, as a matter of fact, Kaz Nocha worked on that job with me. We acid washed the entire building. We hazed about 5 windows that we had to fix. But point being, within 5 years, okay, now they sealed the stone behind us. I don't know what they used, but guys came in and sealed the stone. Within 5 years, the stains were back worse than they were in the initial 15 years age of the building, meaning I said something is going on here. And I reached out to several people and found their opinion was that when you acid wash glass, you leave it very raw. So a few years later, we polished the entire building. Okay. Now, we didn't have any good glass sealers at the time. Like right now, I stand behind the Nanovations product because it's the only one that gives you a 5-year new glass, 5-year restored glass warranty, or 10 years on brand new glass that has never been restored. That their product will keep the stains off. So, and Tom, you might want to talk to them about putting their product on in your catalog because it's great stuff. So,
and that's a sealer, right?
It's a sealant. Yeah, it's a 2-step process. I put it on fountain glass that gets sprayed 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, and it's still holding, keeping the stains at bay. You still have to scour them, but they don't adhere to the glass. That's been 2 years. So at the time, Nanovations was not stateside. They were out of Australia, and it would have cost, I think, $18,000 just for the material without us applying it to this building. And because they were out of the country, they wouldn't warranty the 5 years. So the building refused to do it. So now fast forward to now, the stains have come back, you know. Okay. So what we're doing is we're only restoring the penthouses, which is the parts I took the pictures of, the 21, 22, and 23rd story of the building. We have contracted with Nanovations to put the product on the entire penthouse, and then they're going to look at it in a year or two. And if everything looks as it still does, meaning the stains aren't adhering, we'll have an opportunity to do the entire building.
I actually have a question for you, Mark.
Sure.
Is there an amount of times that you're able to pull the stain off a glass, a sheet of glass, before you can't do it anymore? Because when you always say you're more or less, when you're polishing, you're kind of grinding almost, right? So yes. I mean, you're not removing anything, or is it just not enough to worry about?
It's not enough to worry about. Now, okay. Scratches, if someone comes by and scratch tags a window 10 times, there's a good chance that the glass will be compromised, okay? Because you're physically removing, 10,000ths of an inch every time you do something, depending on the depth of the damage. But as far as polishing, no. I did a building that lasted 6 years. They never fixed their sprinklers. We did it again, and it looks as good as the day that we, initially finished it. So I would have to say, on stain removal, as long as the surface isn't penetrated, you can do it 100 times.
He said penetration.
Okay. But most people learn their lesson, I told the guy on that building, I said, what you pay me to restore this glass, you can't tell me you can't get the sprinklers fixed for that price?
Right.
This is a crime.
They would, yeah.
Yeah. And well, they blame it on the wind, and the building has a fountain on a lake, and the wind blows. You know, it's, everything. They don't care, and they don't care until the tenants complain. And when the tenants complain, because what happens over time, what people don't realize is when you're spraying windows with lake water or well water or even city water, over time that water is going to find its way into the building.
Well, I tell you, I've got a job that I do. I did, it's seasonal, and I started doing it last year. I actually called Mark about the Nanovations product, and when I told them how much it would cost for me to put this on and clean the glass again, because what they do is they pull lake water into a tank and then blow it all over the front of the building to get rid of bugs.
Yeah.
And it stains the glass. And I've got to scour them every time I'm there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's starting to damage the glass, and maybe this is an option. And they scoffed at the price. You should see these windows, man. I told him, I was like, listen, he's like, aren't you cleaning the windows? I'm like, dude, as soon as I clean the glass, a dude as I'm walking away with my bucket, these guys drive through and spray the front of I'm not kidding. As I'm walking away. I'm like, dude. And I've said something to him. I'm like, listen, I'm here every Saturday. You don't have to spray this building on Saturday. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't have to. I've already come in with my steel leaf blower, blew the Canadian soldiers away. You know what I mean? Everything, all the muffle heads are gone. You don't have to do that, and they just and they just wouldn't listen, man. And now the windows are trashed. Brand new building, windows trashed.
Yeah.
Trashed.
That's crazy.
Listen, the Nanovation product goes very far. I'm going to do that. If you saw that picture, there's 8 of those penthouses plus glass between that we're doing, and I'll do all of that with about a gallon of the material.
Wow.
Okay, so that's $350. Now I get a little bit better price because I'm working with them,
right.
But it ain't 50%. It's maybe 15%,
right?
Because they want my name with it because I have enough restoration that they can latch on. But they also get me work. Right. I just did a big condo that they bought the Nanovations product, and Nanovations does make a polish, but it was beyond their expertise to get the stains gone, so they hired me. Nanovation sent me in there. I restored the glass, then that condo put their own product on.
How did I know this is going to turn into I'm the awesomest dude in the world? They called me.
This is why I'm the richest.
This is why I'm the richest man in window cleaning, but I'm not.
I'm sponsored.
Yeah. No. Listen, I know this. I know this because
technology racing jacket and shit on the next podcast.
Tom will equate to this. Being in business for yourself, the bigger it gets, it's just a bigger funnel, and you just keep putting the money in the top, and sometimes the bottom of the funnel is as big as the top of the funnel. It comes out as fast as it goes in.
Yeah, especially when you're buying bikes and snorkels for your 4-wheelers and shit.
Gotta have some fun too. But yeah.
The whole super big on the end when you've got a Mustang with a Coyote motor and sitting in the garage. You just drive like 2 or 3 times a year. What a douche.
Listen, but the one thing is, I get a lot of dirty hands to buy that car.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's a crazy. I just like busting Mark's nuts all the time, Tom. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I know. I see it. It's a fun. You guys have fun. That's what counts.
Well, that's part of what the Outlaw Window Cleaner Network on Facebook, which you guys did a giveaway for the Outlaw Window Cleaner guys. That's what the group is all about, is just having fun. I mean, we do. There is some serious talk, and if you ask a question like, how much should I charge for these windows, even though we will be like, oh my God, dude, we will still try and help you. It won't get, I mean, because in some groups you will get thrashed for that. But we got, our Outlaw Window Cleaner is a free market. You can just talk about whatever you want. Plus, some places you can't do that.
Well, it's where window cleaners can actually talk to window cleaners. Because, people don't understand what we're going through during the day.
Right.
Our wives don't even understand what we're going through during the day.
Yeah.
I have another question. So, Tom, I don't see a portable tank system on your website. Is there one in the works for Pure Water Power, A? And Part B is
Do you want to buy Mark's design because it's super awesome?
My design is awesome, dude.
Mark's design is fucking
some of the
sweet.
best designs out there were just fabricated.
Dude, let me tell you.
And B, can I attach Mark Tanner's name to it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
By Mark Tanner.
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet you. Because I have a local guy that I get my DI tank exchanged at and everything. Mm-hmm. The guy's an engineer when it comes to water. He's very brilliant. When he saw the system, he practically told me I was a liar that I didn't build it myself. Okay. And then he wants, hey, I could supply this and supply that, and we can really go nuts with these. And I love window cleaning. I love fabrication work, but my heart is in window cleaning. I'd build 4 or 5 of these because I want a second one. And if there's a couple people
describe it a little bit. What is it exactly?
It's got a 50-gallon holding tank. It's got a SureFlow 60 or 80 psi pump. It's got the Tucker DI cartridge in it because it just fits in there. Everything's contained within the housing. It's got a hose reel with 200.
Is it a delivery system?
Yes, you bring water with you because I have some accounts. I have some furniture stores that are older. They don't have water outlets, or like a lot of the places here in Florida, they'll lock the water outlets off because people wash cars on the weekends and stuff like that.
It's the way the industry's going.
Only in Florida.
Yeah, and I needed something like that. I needed something that I could, and 50 gallons of water through 1/8-inch hose, I can wash 2 car dealerships with that. It goes a long way. So I don't process water on site. I can, but I pretty much bring the water from my house, which is filtered down to a very low TDS. But I'm going to incorporate a RO membrane into this for processing on site. It's basically what I've seen other people make with my own custom. And it's very simple. There's not a lot of bells and whistles on it because I believe simple is good, less issues. And I've run 15,000 gallons of water through it with 0 issues. 0.
Yeah, no, they're good. We are going to come out with a delivery system. It's in the works. Whether it comes out by the end of this year, I don't know. I'm still, so much going on. You can only do so much, but it is in the works. And we will have on the little beast unit, we're going to have what we call the big beast. It's also this one will probably come out this year, where we're going to have a 50-gallon and a 100-gallon tank where you can bolt it right up to the little beast if you already have one, or you can buy it like that and put it in your truck, and it's going to draw from that buffer tank, or you can produce your own water into that and run it out of delivery system, or just run it off of raw water out of there. So, but delivery systems like the one you're talking about, they're awesome. I mean, it's if you can produce your own DI water and put it in there and take it to the job site. You're only using a delivery pump instead of something bigger, and you can run longer, and it's definitely a good way to go.
The one thing that I found, that the first thing when anyone asks me about it is, and I've had friendly competitors come and look at it, and most of them are now into water-fed pull. But what you don't realize is when you can park your truck in a specific area, literally grab the hose on that reel and start to walk with it, flip the switch, and you're washing in less than a minute. There's nothing like finding water, digging through the plants. You don't know what's going to come out of that hose, and then setting up your tanks, and then rolling everything at the end of the day. It does save a lot of time.
If you've got the room, the vehicles to maintain that, big, those big items, then it's golden. There's a lot of guys in small trucks and and they got to go with the portable stuff. But it's a good point. Definitely something that we are already geared up to go that route. So
Mark has more money than us.
You know what? If you knew what
I'm going to have the same thing Mark's got, but I'm just going to have him make it to the specs. We've already talked about this. So I'm just going to make it so it fits in my truck. So
whatever. Like, I built it to fit in the bed of my Super Duty and close the tailgate, and I have enough room to put 4 sections of ladder next to it and 2 buckets. That's pretty much what I need for a big day's work. I can put.
Convenience is great.
Yeah, I can put my system and a pressure washer and a surface washer stacked up in there. So I mean, honestly, I thought I was going to be taking it in and out of the truck. And I think I only took it out one time to change the DI cartridge because it was easier to do it on.
Question. How long is it?
Well, the Tucker cartridge is right at 36 inches, so I would say 40 inches long.
Oh, okay. Shit.
You know, yeah,
it'll
fit
my
in a
truck
short
right
bed.
now.
Yeah,
Because I've got a
yeah.
6-foot bed and a toolbox, a bed box.
Yeah.
I need something that'll
it'll
fit still. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it'll
what I
fit
need.
in there.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
one of them. Yeah, do the
You know.
wiggle.
What'd you
dance.
think when we were at IWCA last year? What'd you think of the Ionic system they had there? Is it with the heat delivery system and all that in it?
Me?
Did you get to see that? Yeah.
He's talking.
Yeah,
you-
I just don't understand the hot water thing. I mean, maybe
right.
it does clean better. Tom, do you know anything about hot water clean?
Hydrotech, one of the manufacturers we get some power washing equipment through, they had toyed around with that design. It's since been eliminated. So however they were doing it, it didn't pan out. But I know there are some pluses to it. I mean, if you can use warm water, it's definitely a plus. How key is it? I don't know. I've never goofed around with them personally. I do know that a couple designs I know of have come out, but they went off the market fairly quickly. So that must tell us something.
That was a very, very heavy system though too. It took 4 guys to get it out.
Not only that, the two things one thing I'm pretty sure about is RO membranes do not like warm or hot water, so you'd have to heat it after the membrane. And heating water takes a lot of energy, no matter how you do it. Right. It takes a lot of energy. I had a Hydrotech hot water pressure washer, and that thing would suck a car battery dry, and you'd have to let it, because the motor wasn't putting out enough amps, and the burner was using 14 amps. The motor was putting out 12, and I'm like, why is the battery dead? This thing's belching black smoke. And Hydrotech built it that way. Right. They're like, oh, you got to have recovery time, like what, 6 hours? Or put a battery? You're killing me here. I thought I had
just ran across this device that's supposed to be able to mount onto a system, any system, and it goes after the RO, like you said, and it's a coiled system, and it heats up the water. We're just now kind of goofing around with that side of it. How long it takes us, I don't know. We've got so many things coming up in front, but I mean, there's something to think about. I mean, I think it's a plus in a lot of ways.
Again, with hot water, you need basically one of two things, I think. You either need a flame, or you need a flame, a propane flame, or diesel and flame, or a tremendous amount of electricity that's very hard to generate through something that's very portable, put it that way.
Fernando Trevino said the UK guys do hot water, and that just proved. I mean, I'm not saying it's always dark and gloomy over there, but it's probably not as sunny as most places. You know what I'm saying? I don't see, like where I live in this. I guess I'd only be able to use it in the winter, because as soon as the sun comes out, that shit will flash to the glass. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, it's still gonna, like a pressure washer that's hot water, even at 175, it's only hot when it first comes out. Within a few seconds, it's cooling down and steam leaving, in steam. I mean, it's not hot 5 feet away. It's warm. So I would assume you could still have a freezing problem on glass with pure water.
Even in the wintertime, yeah.
Yeah. I would think so. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't have a winter here,
but the glass. I mean, yeah, you would. I guess I don't see. I'm assuming the advantage would be because of freezing temperatures. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it would do in the cleaning. Because you couldn't. In my opinion, I don't know how it would work on hot windows. Hot water on hot windows seems like it's just gonna flash.
Well, I mean, even if it's 40 degrees out and the sun's on the windows, they're still gonna steam. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I try to get the steam on camera all the time.
I'd be more worried about cold weather being a problem on hitting cold glass. It seems like you could run into some problems that way from the hot water being put on a really cold window.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I gave that a whole lot of thought, but I know that those systems are available.
I didn't even think of that, because that's like, you need to throw boiling water on your windshield in the morning. That's what you do when you live in a house. I've seen a busted toilet from that too. Someone throwing hot water in a toilet and busting it. I've seen that before. Yeah.
Porcelain? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. But I don't think it gets hot enough to, like you said, it cools off pretty quick.
Oh, okay.
Glass to a point where it won't hurt anything.
We have some buildings that are black glass, and I've literally taken a heat gun to them. And in Florida, direct sunlight, a black glass window will get up to 130, 140 degrees. Mm-hmm. And they don't, up 150 and above, you don't want to get it wet because it can pop. But I don't think a system that would be portable is going to produce enough heat.
Enough heat to worry about it.
Yeah, but I also, look, I was not a fan of hot water pressure cleaning. I didn't like the burns you got to always wear gloves. The connections get hot. I didn't find that it cleaned that much better to warrant the overhead of the burner and the diesel fuel and the issues I had with my particular system.
Did you do a lot of grease?
I did a lot of, I did Blockbuster video stores. The reason I bought the hot water was because it was the only thing that will take up gum without blowing the sidewalk apart. That's the one thing it does. It takes up gum, or like you said, grease,
Yeah.
But mostly gum. My Blockbusters were full of gum. And you spend more time taking up gum.
Yeah.
I always thought it was funny.
It's hard to believe how much gum is out there.
Well, Blockbuster had that big giant gumball machine at the entrance.
Yeah.
Right, and so the
parents. There's a problem.
Yeah, well, I have a story about that. It was funny. You don't mind me sharing, but
Go ahead.
when I started, I did 120 Blockbuster video stores in 3 counties. This goes way, way back. And it was a combination of me and my father. He did the South, I did the North, and they were complaining because corporate came down from Texas and said, the Florida stores have so much more gum on the sidewalk. We think it's because it's hot and it sticks and everything else. And I said, if you take that gumball machine and get rid of it, maybe this problem will go away. Said that we give the money to charity. That's not going to happen. So I said, okay, let me ask you a question. You guys have done surveys. How long does the average person stay in a Blockbuster video? 15 to 20 minutes picking out a movie. Okay. So when the mom walks in and the kid buys the gumball at the entranceway, right, at the entrance, that kid is done with that gum in 15 to 20 minutes because the flavor's gone. What does he do when he walks out? He spits it on the ground. Okay. If you move the gumball machine to the exit, when people have changed from buying their video, you'll sell more gum and you'll have less gum on the floor. They looked at me like I was nuts. They started moving them and it worked.
Wow.
Yeah, it worked. So,
really?
Yeah. Because why? Because when you bought a video for $3.25, you got 75 cents back. The gum was a quarter. Mom always had that quarter on the way out in her hand. Mommy, I want a gumball. Buy them a gumball. You understand? And they spit it out at home, not at the store. Believe it or not, it took 50% of the gum away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the smartest man in window cleaning, Mark Tanner.
No, you know what the funny thing is? I sat there in a T-shirt and shorts with a bunch of suits and told them that these are high-dollar guys. This kid is uneducated and he thinks he knows something over here, but it worked.
That's funny.
We did 22 Blockbusters here in Columbus, but we got there and there's always this little cocky kid manager. He's always a little prick.
Oh, all those managers were
and he would talk down to us. He goes, one day we came in there, he's going, oh man, this was back when car starters were brand new. Like, I mean, they were just the newest thing you could get to get on the vehicle. You mean? Yeah. So he goes, check what I got. He hit that starter, man. His truck just shot out of that parking spot.
Oh, it was in gear.
Yeah, it was in gear. So that's back when they still put them in the stick shifts. This thing just went
Well, they'll put
crazy.
them in stick shifts. You got to have a fail safe because obviously he must have done that himself.
This thing just kept circling and circling. There's some dude that put this brand new car, just bought a brand new car, put it all the way out in the, butt fuck each of a fuck in the parking lot so it wouldn't get touched. And this truck came up and just landed on that car, dude.
Wow.
It was hilarious. He was crying. Ron and I are just sitting there just laughing our asses off. It was hilarious. But his sister borrowed the truck and something.
There's nothing about my life that's funny.
So
Nothing
Tom,
good
one more.
happens to me.
What do you see? What's the plan over the next 5-7 years for CWC and Pure Water Power? Just keep growing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just keep plugging along. It's adjusting to the markets, and it's a battle in its own. And that's about it. I mean, if I go back 15 years, that's basically the MO. Just you just got to stay with it. Keep bringing in new items, and that's what it's all about, staying with the change. And when I first started, I thought, well, I'll get all this done, and it's just self-sustaining. But then, no, not the case.
No.
There's so much change constantly. It's a battle, just like anything else, I guess. But
so, what's going to be the hot item this year?
Yeah, what's the hot item? The little beast.
The little beast is the hot item.
Yeah. Duh.
We just got them up a couple months ago, really, online. And that's a third generation, went through testing and different prototypes, and we think we got it dialed in. I mean, it's.
You mean a manufacturer extra
built well
beta test?
I'm sorry.
Use us. We got a manufacturer actually doesn't use us as a beta testers.
Yeah, you got.
I haven't run across you guys yet.
No, I'm just talking.
No.
About, the community.
Yeah. So you actually do some R&D on your projects, is what he's saying.
Right. Put them out on the market.
I get it. Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
Yeah.
And we don't use fabric.
Right. Dude, I tell you what, I know for sure when you go to the website, there's a few of those, the way you guys put those, I mean, they literally look like they're made to be thrown off of something. You know what I mean?
Like, build everything.
Yeah, that's why I think that's why Mark Tanner likes it, because Mark Tanner's an overbuilder too. He's like, well, you never know.
Oh, you got to build it tight.
Yeah, it might get ran over by a car one day. You never know.
No, but there's some systems out there that look like if they accidentally tipped over. Like when I had portable systems that you pull the hose, there's not uncommon for them to fall over. And there's a couple systems out now that look like if they fell over in the grass, you'd be picking up pieces for a while. And
they're out there.
He said that at the show in the booth, so I can vouch for him on that. He's been saying that for a while.
No, I mean, I build it to last. You know, I mean, if you drop it, you know, you're still going to break a metal fitting. You can. It's harder, but I mean, I build it to last, and that's
the way to do stuff.
Design.
Yeah, that's the way to do stuff.
If it weighs a couple pounds heavier, I don't care. It's going to last. You know, so.
Shoot, Mug.
So is it American made? Everything is sourced as much as possible.
Yeah, pretty much everything. A couple things come from overseas, but 90% of it. I mean, even fittings. I mean, half the fittings you guys are using in your daily stuff it come from China. They're sold here. I mean, GP is China. I mean, everything comes from China. So for something to be truly manufactured in the U.S., I don't even think there is such a thing. But it's assembled here, and our main components are fabricated here. But as far as, you know, housings and things like that, you know, I don't think they're molded here, but I could be wrong on that.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's hard to do. I mean, American made and American workers working is always a priority for everyone. You know what I mean? Let's not get it twisted. But we also have to realize that this is a world economy, and people are going to just do shit cheaper than we do it. You know what I mean? That's, you know what I mean? Cost of living, everything is different here. So,
yeah,
you got to wrap your head around the fact that there's some things that are not made, and not everything you can get your hands on for what we do, especially, is you're going to find 100% pure made in America, because it may not be the best. It may not, you know what I mean? You never know. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to draw those lines in the sand.
I mean, but
at least you're honest about it. Some people aren't.
No, I mean, those are true facts. I mean, I'm on the same page. So, I mean, it's very true. And if something was actually manufactured here from the beginning to the end, where everything was molded here, I mean, you'd be paying triple for the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we want to do it, but you're not going to buy it if we do it, you know? So, I mean, that's just what's real. You know, we'd love it to be, but like you said, the world just doesn't work that way.
Right.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but I'm producing my own, and it's going to be called The Gringo.
The Gringo? You're coming out with your own gear? It's going to be called Gringo?
Yes.
Nice. Well, you know, I really appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us. I know, I mean, I think first of all, for the giveaway, that was pretty awesome. And, you know, I got to talk to Trevor quite a bit. And what is Trevor, who is Trevor to you? What's you and Trevor's relationship?
We work together on the pure water power side.
Okay.
I already had a line of poles and purification system. He came to me one day and wanted me to design him a purification system that was in a cage so he can bolt it on. And so I had one fabricated up for him, which is now the Little Beast. And then, you know, I was going to add in a unit with a pump and all that, so we could have guys that wanted to run multiple poles. I just didn't know how I wanted to do it yet. And so when he came in, we just started putting things together and trying to get it as small as possible, and something for the power. The power washing industry kind of runs their rigs a little bit different. They have more room. They like stuff bolted in and run off tanks and things like that. So we kind of wanted to fill that void. And that's that's where Trevor comes in. Trevor's really experienced in soft washing and the power washing side. I mean, he knows more about water fed poles and window cleaning as he works with me. But it's kind of the combination. Well, we took his wants and we created a unit out of it that kind of catered to guys that wanted a mountable or guys that wanted to run and portable, and we just wanted to make the system be able to accommodate both, and that's cool. And that's where we ended up.
That's cool. So I didn't know. I just wanted, because that all of this started by Trevor reaching out to me, and I just like, man, well, that's cool. And then he mentioned you, and I was like, well, it'd be cool if I could get you guys on the show together. He couldn't, so I mean, we settled for you. You know what I mean? And
yeah, thanks, man.
Well, I want to say one thing, Tom, because you've made this a really pleasurable podcast because of your knowledge, and what I would like to see from you is a little more advertising for CWC on the Outlaw Window Cleaner page, because I know you guys have been around for a long time. My buddy Gary turned me on to you, and I saw that you have a lot of small items that are not available on the other suppliers. I would just like to see more CWC promotion on the Outlaw Window Cleaner page. Get your name out there more as a competitor in
I don't know who's running your social media, but tell them to plug it into
me.
Yeah, you might want to hook up with Phil.
Get out there more.
There's CWC here.
And I'm one of those guys. I don't like to be at the forefront. I'm the guy behind the scenes that does work, and I've always been that way. And I've always been like anti-social media. And
does Pure Water Power have? Does it have a Facebook? I mean, I'm sorry, CWC. Does CWC have a Facebook page?
It does, and that's part of the reason.
Like
why
somewhere people can like and find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so just to make a long story short, we had a Facebook page for years. Unfortunately, we had set it up under a private account, and we had like 2,500 people, liked it or whatever, friended it, and apparently Facebook made some changes, and they blocked me out of that page. So I created another one, started over. This was about 4 years ago. For some reason, Facebook locked that one out. I just got fed up with it. So I do have one now. It's all the right way, and but it's like starting over. And so it's kind of frustrating. So that's kind of what.
Yeah, get that link in the group, and we'll get you some likes on that.
Yeah, I'll start throwing some stuff on there.
At least so people can. Because I'll be honest, man. I didn't until now. I didn't know nothing. CWC lost on me. I didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, social media definitely. I mean, to me, social media plays a good role for anybody.
But it can be bad.
Is it essential for success? No. But it definitely gets you where you need to go faster.
It definitely.
So Instagram, we created an Instagram page about 3 months ago, and that's gotten pretty big for us. Trevor's the social media guy. I thought we were a good fit for that. He handles that side of it more than me. But I'm seeing the rewards of it. I'm seeing the promotion from it, and I've been pumped up about the last few months.
Now you're going to be a multi-billionaire after going on our show. You're going to make all kinds of money, dude. All tens of people watching this are going to buy stuff from you.
They're gonna GQ is going to want to interview. So what does CWC stand for, Tom?
California Window Cleaning Supply.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Shoot.
Did you Jason, who had a question? Ryan had a question. Did you see that?
Yeah. It says a question for Pure Power, gentlemen. I want to invest in pure water because here at the Jersey Shore, there's a lot of 3-story homes that have been lifted because of Hurricane Sandy, and I can't reach. Your recommendation from Pure Water Power, so pole and system, I'm assuming. What would be your recommendation for that 3-story homes?
Yeah, if they're doing, basically 4 or 5 stories and below, they just need a system with 1 RO, or they go DI only if they want to. But if they want to go the route that's more beneficial, a single RO system of some kind, like the Pure Water Power's 4-stage cart or a competitive version of that, and then obviously a pole that would reach. I recommend like a 35. Most common pole is probably a 35 out of all the pole sizes. So something like that, you get in for $2,200-$2,300, and be good. If you want to run multiple poles, get something with a dual RO or something with a pump. But pretty much that's what somebody would need to do that type of work.
Okay. Thank you.
Nice.
Well, there's your question answered, Ryan. Hope you're happy. Jason Lehman says, thanks, Tom, for the poll. I'll keep everyone posted with videos soon. So sweet. You're going to have Sasquatch using your poll. That's
Yeah.
dope.
No, thank you. I appreciate the input on it, and glad to do it, man.
I want to let everybody know that Tom doesn't believe in Bigfoot. We talked about this beforehand.
We're not friends.
We're not.
Well, if that's Bigfoot, I'll believe in that one.
Right. Jason's a close relative. There's no question. Yeah.
You know what I see too, Tom?
What?
Is there pure water power gear, T-shirts, stickers, hats? You got the hat. You got the big old thing in the back.
Bought some hats. We're gonna get some
TJ
hats.
needs one of those. Yeah, TJ needs one of those on the back wall there.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I need a pure water power sticker for the back wall, man.
And I need a hat to cover up my
well,
bald head.
DM me your address info and stuff. We'll shoot you
Awesome.
out. I got plenty of stickers,
Nice.
decals and stuff. So we will get some T-shirts. I don't know when, but soon. There's a million things pulling me from every which way.
Right.
And
I can only imagine.
So it's been a tough couple years.
I have another question, Tom. Do you have a physical storefront? Are you a warehouse? Do you ship out of your garage? You obviously have some real estate if you're storing a bunch of carts and systems. Can someone walk in and purchase from you like in a brick and mortar type store?
We have a warehouse, 7,000 square foot warehouse. We have a storefront where guys come in. When the guys come, we get walk-ins daily. A lot of walk-in. We're in a good area. A lot of window cleaners in the Bay Area. We let them go, but we don't really have a big storefront in the front where we have items like a true storefront would be. We just let them go to the warehouse and walk.
Yeah.
I have customers that pull their own equipment and bring it to us at the front desk. So we're pretty open and friendly in here.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool. You know what? I'm going to say one thing because you come from a window cleaning background. Now you're selling merchandise and you have a place where someone can walk in and pay you. It's got to be gratifying that someone waits in line to hand you money and we have to wait in line to get paid money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, there's good and bad.
Yeah.
But we do. We have a front a store where everybody can come in.
Nice.
Jason said your levers and clamps are top notch, man. So
Who said that?
Jason Lehman. He got
Oh, okay.
He got the.
Yeah, we've gotten. Thank you, man.
We've
got some good feedback on. We like this clamp. Like I said, it's our third generation pull, and it's been a good clamp. I mean, very very few problems. Well under what I consider to be an average problem.
Actually, Slimmy has a question for you. I don't want to miss it. He might be where you're. Where are you located exactly? Like, where is your warehouse? Where are you located?
We're in Tracy, California.
Okay. So if you guys didn't hear that,
you can picture the Bay Area on a map. We're about 15 miles, about 20 miles east of like Fremont. Livermore is the easternmost city of the Bay Area. We're like 15 minutes east of that.
Okay.
So
cool.
But we're actually considered the valley here, but right on the edge of the Bay Area.
Okay.
Nice.
Shoot.
Nice.
You learn something new every day, so I hope that answers your question, feller. Yeah, well, you said you were only going to talk to us for an hour. We've got you here for an hour.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
I told you I'd roll with the show. It's been a good show. Like you said, I appreciate being on, and it's been fun talking to you guys too. So, I'm cool to stick around for a minute as long as it's flowing stuff. I love it because it's just you guys are fun. You guys are a fun group to talk to too.
Oh,
so
thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for him? I mean, you got the man on here. I mean, you want to ask him about his water-fed pole systems, you can ask him. I don't know, but you also you guys also sell pressure washing equipment and stuff too, correct?
We do.
Now, is that in-house stuff, or is that like other suppliers, or what are you selling exactly? Do you sell pressure washing skids or anything like that, or?
Yeah, we sell Pressure Pro's entire line. We don't have it advertised, we still get it. We are going to start minimizing it and cleaning it up a little bit. We got a lot of stuff on there that really doesn't need to be. Accessories, we have all the accessories in stock. Units, we usually drop ship them. But yeah, we carry all the accessories in our warehouse.
And you can get the pressure washing chemicals like degreasers and cleaners and smell goods and
got a
snot.
large amount chemicals.
Okay.
All in stock. Nitro 9 is something that we just brought in. Trevor, that's kind of Trevor's thing.
Yes, it's awesome.
It's been phenomenal since we brought it in. So I've been pumped up with that because power washing chemicals are tricky. I mean, unless it's what everybody wants, you can just sit on it. And it all depends on how the manufacturers promote them. That determines really what chemicals are being sold. So Trevor does a good job with that, with the social media and getting the name out there. And then once people start using it, they say how good it is, and then people start buying it. So
I've seen some of his Nitro 9 cold water demonstrations, and it's impressive.
It's pretty impressive, yeah.
Yes, it's impressive.
He's
just in pump-up sprayer. He's cleaning the concrete with the pump-up spray. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So let me ask you something, Tom. How much impact has the soft wash market had on traditional pressure washing equipment? Because it seems to be like everywhere here.
Yeah, it's definitely the trend. I kind of relate it very similar to when water-fed pole units and systems became, on the forefront. And it took a while for, the older guys, guys been around for, not older, but been around in the business for 10, 15 years plus. They don't like to change. So it's similar impact of the soft washing systems. But guys are starting to see the true benefits and the ease of operation and the quick, just the whole efficiency of it. And Trevor does that, and I've gotten really educated with that. So we will be pushing the system through Pure Water Power here fairly quickly too. But yeah, it's the trend. I think it's just a new way to take care of, house washing, roof cleaning, and things like that. It's really starting to take off, especially with the new generation. Everything starts with the new guys coming up. So then it starts, becoming a normal process. And that's where soft washing is really, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just always had a problem with, as a part-time, I say I'm a part-time pressure washer because I don't make my living doing it, and I don't really promote it much. I offer to existing customers as a value service.
Same here.
I just have huge issues with bagging downspouts and covering plants and washing everything down. And is there going to come a time when the EPA might step in and say, hey, you guys are just spraying these chemicals that are mixing in your backyard. You don't even, what I'm saying? I know that you guys sell specific chemicals for roof cleaning and house washing, and people are proportioning them and everything else. Do you think there's going to come a time where someone's going to get really sick or someone's going to damage something? I just wonder.
The soft washing chemicals are fairly, even the pH mixes that guys are adding in with it on certain things, it's relatively minimal. The bleach side maybe, but if you're in California, definitely that's going to happen. But overall, I don't think the chemicals involved are that destructive. Because it's more of instead of a cleaning, it's more of it kills it and it deteriorates on its own type of thing. So. Like when somebody does a roof that's mossed over with soft wash chemical, instead of it looking like you just power washed it, it's not going to look a whole lot different. But as a couple months go by, it deteriorates all that and it just goes away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not the most educated person in that department, but from my knowledge, at least with the Shamlin soft wash sauce, it's not a chemical that's going to damage your plant life or anything like that around the house or anything. So, but it is a good question. It all revolves around money, even with the government and state. So it will come a time when probably. Yeah.
Well, look, I know the guys around here because Florida has a lot. I don't know Ohio. I don't know California, but I know this. Probably 70% of the homes in Florida have swimming pools, and I don't, Tim, so don't even go there. But so we have a chlorine store on pretty much every corner. So I can go buy 16%, chlorine at 99 cents a gallon bulk. Okay, so
that's what they do here, man. They just buy pool store.
Everybody calls it SH. It's pool chlorine so far as I know.
Bleach.
It's bleach, exactly. So, and I ruin all my clothes. God, my guys were bleaching that same building that you saw the pictures on, we had to clean the edges of that peak from reaching over. And I said, you know what? Here's some pump sprayers. Here's some chlorine. We put some soap in it. Okay. And it cost me $300 because someone walked out to a food truck and got, from 20 stories up, got bleach spots on the clothes. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, and let me ask you another question. Yeah, I'm serious. The building manager called and said, what was I going to do? Deny it? Okay, we did it. But here's the thing. I see a lot of guys in Florida when it's 100 degrees out. The last thing, because I know doing glass restoration, I wear a respirator. Okay. And I see a lot of guys soft washing with a dust mask on. The long-term effects, I know this, anytime I've done a roof, which is only a minimal time, and I'm like, I'm not breathing through a respirator in 90 degrees. The next day, and I don't smoke, my lungs are tore up sore. So I'm also wondering about the health issues. You know, you could tell me all day long, I got $600 to clean a roof and it took me 2 hours, but in 10 years, if you're coughing your lungs up, was that $600 worth it?
Yeah.
Wondering about the long-term effects.
Roundup's killing people.
Soft washing buildings in like downtown areas where, I mean, that if you're using a lot of pH or SH, you know, they will make you, you can't do it on windy days. You know, you got to block off street traffic, things. I know all that is in play for certain jobs. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Like Tim said, Roundup's killing folks now.
Yeah, well, California. Like,
we
had chemical, like One Restore, for example, is another. It's a building. You guys, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but restoration guys use it for staining on glass as well. But California, they just had a run in a few years back, and California made them change their formula if they wanted to have them ship them here anymore. I mean, because of that problem. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy,
But,
man.
That stuff is pretty caustic if you're not careful with it, you know.
You got to be careful, man. You never know what you're getting yourself into, what you're breathing. You never know, man. This is working good. Give me that check. You know, and then you're dead.
Well, look at all the guys from, you know, the 40s and 50s that died of silicosis that worked in fiberglass, you know, insulation plants, not knowing they're breathing in glass. You're breathing in glass, and you're going to slowly suffocate at 60. And that's it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee. I mean, that's in a way that I hate to say it, but I mean, that's life. You learn as you go, and things change. I mean, that's a perfect example that you mentioned right there. You know, nobody knows until, you know, obviously, you know, 30, 40, 50, 100 years later, and then the problem gets corrected. But I mean, it's true. There's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
But out of all the chemicals that we sell, they're all, for the most part, safe chemicals. The Nitro 9 is the first chemical I've ever sold that was caustic, and that we have to have shipping regulations and stuff on anything over 4 gallons, or anything packaged over a gallon has to have you have to have special permit to class it through and all that for it. So that was a learning.
So if I go to your website, I can buy some of that, and you'll ship it to me to Ohio, or no?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I want to get some of that stuff. I want to try it. I want to try it.
Yeah.
I hate water.
Samples of it. Almost that.
A lot of my work is flat work, dumpster areas, and drive-throughs, and it sucks because it's always in the summertime, and you're using hot water, and that sucks. It sucks. That'd be nice to get that Nitro 9 and just use cold water. That would make my life so much easier. I want to try that stuff out for sure.
Yeah, I'm not.
It looks pretty
I
awesome.
Very little power washing. We just did house wash basically and some flat work, but not a whole.
For me, the pressure washing is more out of necessity. I was just kind of asked if I did it, and I was like, they were like, we need all of this done on a regular basis, and I'm like, I'll do that. You know what I mean? I'm that type of guy that, you know, in the same way they're like, do you replace ceiling tiles? I will for you if you pay me money. You know what I mean? You know, it like inspection punch lists for fast food chains and stuff like that. When they have the big wigs come in from corporate, they've got a punch list. They need all this stuff done. I'll take on half of that for you. You pay me for that. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Exchanging a drop ceiling, cleaning the tracks. I mean, you make fucking a whole shitload of money in just a short night. You know what I mean? That's nice. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So everything's done out of necessity. That's what pressure washing was for me. Was just, hey, do you do this?
Same here.
Yeah,
So-
I do it.
So Tom, a lot of these chemicals that like the degreasers, what's that? Something 9? What's it called?
Nitro 9.
Nitro 9. Is that pre-diluted? So if I buy a gallon, will it make 5 gallons? Because some of these, what people don't understand, especially if they're enzyme type cleaners, they're actually activated when you add water to them. So is that a 1-to-1, or is there a dilution ratio?
Guys, Trevor's the expert in that department, but I hear him talking. It's like 3 to 3. You can toy around with like a 50-50 mix or a 3-to-1 mix. For something extreme, you can even use it full strength. But it is concentrated. It is a concentrated cleaner.
Yeah.
But it's not going to produce like what a gallon of window cleaning solution would, where you can basically make a 360-gallon tote with it. But it is something you can toy around with the dilution ratio, depending on the severity.
Yeah.
But I was blown away at some of the video.
I like to pour it on there full strength. Whatever it is, I just like to dump it on there, wash it down the storm sewer drain, and kill all the fish. That's what I like to do.
Have the EPA at your door tomorrow.
Right, yeah. That sucks, man. You got to, all the precautions are, they don't mess around, and you get caught. That's it. That's the end of your whole entire life.
Oh, you're done. Yeah, you're done.
That's the end of your whole life. If those storm drains ain't took care of, you are in troubles.
They really did start pushing that. It's okay for the rain to wash away all the grease and grime, but if you touch it with a hose or a power washer, like a parking lot, for example, you're getting rung up.
Yeah.
And California just started pushing that about 6, 7, 8 years ago, where they really, the Clean Water Act's been around forever, but they really never pushed it like they do now.
I don't think they don't look at it in that way, but I mean, if you're getting, a bunch of traffic in a certain area, there's oil spots, there's power steering fluid spots, there's, whatever else thrown out, and then it's all washed into the storm drains, and it's all, it's...
Either way, it's going
pressure,
down there.
Either way, it's going. It might not be the bulk all at once like you would with pressure washing, but over time, it's still leaching into the.
I'll tell you what,
you can't get away from
it. I know the chemicals have come a long way because when I first started pressure washing, when I did the Blockbusters, and then you'd get, I'm sure TJ understands this, like an occasional drive-through for a fast food restaurant, and the manager goes, "Hey, can you pressure clean my drive-through?" And you're thinking you're going to make a big difference on it, and you. Back in the day, man, those grease. Oh, did you do it yet? That is like the worst thing. Oh, did you do it? Oh my God! You're like, look how good it looks, and they're like, did you do it yet?
Yeah.
So, oil on concrete is brutal.
Yeah. I've tried a couple of products that are pretty big names out there. One of them, the EBC, I really like EBC. EBC and hot water is gangster on drive-thrus, gangster. But I want to, like I said, I like caustic stuff too. So sometimes you need a little go-go juice.
That's pretty much what I put in. I sell people EBC when they have issues like you guys just discussed, or now Nitro 9, and some guys don't want to mess around with caustic, so EBC is the go-to. They've done a good job with that product.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Have you tried it? Have you ever tried that, Mark? EBC?
No, I have not tried EBC, but I've seen good things about it. I'll tell you one thing I tried. We had one of my buildings has 2 tremendous generator enclosures. They're like 35, 40 foot long, and they're side by side. They'll run literally the whole building without power. And they have a white, I don't know if it's a powder coat, but it's a baked on finish, white on aluminum. And you know how aluminum gets that streaking on it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So they said, can you clean that? And I said, let me try a couple different things. So I bought everything local, purple stuff, simple green, which is usually pretty mild. Anything I could buy at the local store, and just tried it full strength on a rag, and nothing was budging the black streaks on this. So I was about to give up, and I called my buddy Jim, who's a pressure washer. He goes, try some dragon juice. And we put dragon juice on that stuff, and the problem was it was so strong it started to strip the white finish. Yeah, but it took the black off. We had to cut it way back.
Yeah,
that dragon juice is nasty. But I didn't find it to work very good on oil stain on the ground, but it took a lot of that environmental issue out of aluminum. Like it probably.
Lensol is a great product for that. It's a chemical by EcoChem. We sell it for aluminum sidings. It works well for the black streaks on your gutters, on the exterior of the gutters. And basically what you just said there. It'll
stripes. Tiger stripe gutters are the worst thing in the world, man.
Oh yeah. I
hate that shit. And I hate when people call to ask me to get the marks off. What did you say the product was that's really good for tiger stripes, Tom?
Cleansol. Yeah, it's a EcoChem product. Same people make One Restore.
Okay. You know, when we did those generator enclosures, you had 8 sides to do. And the first one we did with just an old strip washer and a bucket full of the dragon juice. And I'm like an awning, let's work from the bottom up so you don't get that real strong solution running down, weakening as it goes and leaving the streaks, right?
It's the best way to go.
Yeah, that was working pretty good. And then one of my guys goes, don't you have that? I have a 15-gallon portable tank with a pump mounted on it that I've used for soft wash. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go get that. And we got an old water-fed pole brush, and pumped that right through the brush. And that was the best thing ever because it was even. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had the same amount going everywhere versus dipping a wand.
Were you cutting it with water or anything?
Yeah.
So you were diluting it?
Maybe only like 1 gallon of dragon juice to 5 gallons of water, and we found that was a perfect solution. But using the water-fed pole with an old brush was great because you had the agitation of the bristles, and then you had the constant flow. You just pinch the hose, scrub it, let it go, add more. You know, we found that worked better than a strip washer because it just came out more even. You know.
Yeah, we had a guy we set up with One Restore for a big project in Arizona a while back, and that he bought like 4 drums of it, and he kind of had a similar application to what you're talking about. I don't know if it was a water-fed pole, but very similar way.
That's actually a really smart idea.
Well, yeah. My buddy Jim that does the pressure washing, I always go to him. He's my go-to guy for pressure washing because that's what he does. He bought my ABC modular pole, the one that sticks together all the time.
Ones?
Yeah, because he had this church with a real steep roof, and he couldn't walk on it. You couldn't walk on it, and it was like 50 feet on each side. I'm like, he took that ABC pole, mounted some little wheels halfway up so it would roll, put an old brush on it, pumped it through that brush. He said, man, that made it. I think I sold him the pole for $300 or $400. He goes, that was a gold mine to me because I'm like, I just wanted it out. You know?
Yeah, those modular poles were pricey back when they were prominent. You don't see them too much anymore.
Let me tell you something. Right. I had bought that and it was fairly. I think I paid $800 or $900 for it, and we were at a job, and it fused together. They give you this spray to put between them, and as soon as you set that thing down, bunk like this, it goes.
It's over.
I had 2 neighbors, one of over 300 pounds, and the other one was probably going 250, pulling and twisting on that. It actually broke before it came apart. I'm like, and I called ABC and I said, the pole's fused. I had to drive home with like a joust, looked like I had a joust, on the truck.
Yeah, and 30-foot pole on the side of your vehicle.
Yeah, and then I ended up spending like $350 on 2 more sections, and at that point I was done with it.
Yeah, they were. Other Unger had one, Atori had one, and it sounded like a good thing, but just a lot of problems. Usually the threads are the problem. They wear out because they're aluminum threads, and they just wear, and they're nothing to grab anymore.
Yeah. What was that Unger carbon fiber pole that screwed together and I had?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, they were.
Ron
oh my God,
dude! He has
like
I'll
tell you,
$35.
I had a library. Yeah, they're expensive. I had a library that I cleaned that we needed. My biggest pole was 40 foot at the time, and we had to go 50, 55. I went to a friendly competitor and said, I heard you bought that. He paid like $7,000 for that pole, right?
Wow.
And they screwed together, and they had real fine threads, like you said. So if you over tighten them, this thread's just stripped. The problem is it has O-ring and the next fitting. Mm-hmm. So I get this thing up at close to 50 feet, and it was pretty heavy. And as soon as you start moving it like this, one section would loosen and the water would just come dumping out.
Oh, really?
And I brought it back. I was soaked and drenched. I only had one small section to do. And I go, I don't know what you paid for this, but you got ripped off because this is a piece of junk.
Yeah, they. I mean, they didn't last very long. If you go back to when they first came out, I mean, they might have been out on the market for 5, 6, 7 years at the most, and now because of inventory. But yeah, they didn't last long.
I think Ron paid $350 off a sales guy for an under sales guy or whatever it was for for 30.
I will say this though.
Yeah,
the idea behind it, if they fix the threads and put double O-rings on them, it's a good idea. The hook, there's no hose. Yeah, but it was heavy and it was big.
Heavy.
Like just big around. It's huge.
I've got Ron's. I need to go down there and grab it and do a video on
Mark's favorite.
Was the ABC version aluminum threads?
What? Yeah, what's that?
Was the ABC version aluminum threaded?
No. The ABC version I had was just, it had an exterior hose. They were just tapered poles. Okay, they were small.
Oh, you didn't have the modular screw together?
I called it modular because each section, it never collapsed into itself. It came in a ski bag. That was the funniest thing. This thing shows up and it said some kind of skiing company, because that was the only biggest bag that would hold these things, right? And I'm like, and it weighed nothing. It weighed absolutely. The thing weighed like 3 pounds at 50 feet. You just couldn't control it. And they were tapered ends that went together.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't that screw together Unger one. That thing. My ex-employer that I borrowed it from, I think he spent $6,000 or $7,000 for that thing by the time it was done. And like you said, they're not around anymore.
Yeah, I think they may still sell it. I'm not sure. ABC might still have that version. I don't know, but I know none of the other people have them anymore.
Yeah, it was short-lived.
Jason, everyone complains because I talk so much, and I always talk over everybody, and then when I don't, everybody's complaining. Well, they're not complaining.
Either way,
Jason has realized that I'm not talking as much as I used to. But Mark's got really good questions tonight. Mark is on fire. I got to let him go.
Yes.
Listen, I had date night last night, so I'm overachieving tonight, so I don't get shit.
Right? Yeah.
Shit. So that's the only reason you're getting anything out of me today, just because I don't want to hear about it after the podcast.
Right.
Well, I can say this. I appreciate the conversation with Tom, because this is something we don't always get. And now I'm thinking, okay, because I order 2 to 3 times a year, one big order at the end of the year, which is high-rise gear, and then a couple fill-in scraper blades, consumables. I want to throw Tom a bone. I want to. Yeah, why do I whistle? I heard that the other day.
I don't know. I don't. Certain words
it's at the end.
You just whistle, man.
Do
you have a dip in?
I know.
Yeah.
You have a dip in? I think that's why.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's probably.
I got one too, so I guess
there you go.
Go ahead, Mark.
Power. Yeah, you're getting a bigger order now, buddy. That's what I'm saying. Is I think that the great conversation and with Tom, and it's appreciated what he's doing for the industry, and I want to throw him an order, and it's good that this is going on, because other people will be exposed to CWC.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I feel the same way, and I appreciate you guys asking me to come on. So I mean, it works both ways. We can help each other and grow with each other. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the fact to me that you were a window cleaner at one time holds a lot of water. It really does. Because I've always said, and I'll say it again, the best equipment, the best innovations are going to come from someone who's been in the field, not someone who's building something in a lab, not in the real world. Because the real world of window cleaning is not up, down, over, rinse, and move. It's not. Right. In the real world, you have trees, you have cars, you have parking stumps, you have limited amount of water, you have very particular customers. So you can relate to that as a former window cleaner. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's made my life a whole lot easier as a distributor with that background too. I mean, and I base the way I sell. I'm not the best salesman because I give you what you need. I don't oversell. I'll ask you questions. I'll say, what are you doing? Blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And I sell you what works for you and then give you some options. You make the decision. I'm not here to sell you a Rolls Royce when you only need a Volkswagen. That's just the way I roll. And if in the long run, I don't care. That's the way I roll.
That's something that's, I think, important in this industry, especially with guys that are just starting out, because we personally know of Mark. He buys a lot of I bought too much packages off the internet. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Sometimes some people do get oversold things. They're like, man, I shouldn't have bought this. So it's nice. It's nice when someone such as yourself, a supplier, will go out and a manufacturer for the most part. I mean, you're doing it all now. Is honest about, hey, this is what this is probably what you need, and this is the best you should. You know what I mean? Why oversell them? You know what I mean? You want to.
Well.
You want to make money, of course, but it's better to get repeat business. It's the same way as window cleaning. As when I do something, I don't try to oversell myself. I want to do it multiple times. I don't want to just do it once. I don't want a customer one time. You know what I mean? I'd rather have
a long run. You'll come out ahead, I think.
Yes,
for
sure.
Yeah, the integrity is everything. I see a lot of new guys coming on and saying, "I'm going to get into water-fed pole. What do I need?" And a lot of the distributors or manufacturers instantly step on his neck, and they want to sell someone $5,000 worth of stuff. Look, my first pressure washer was a rebuilt pressure washer from a rental store that I only had to get through 1 month of Blockbusters. Yeah, 1 month of Blockbusters, because I only had $400 to buy a machine. I didn't have the $1,500 that you pay.
Right.
Okay, and I said, if I can get through 50 pressure washings, I'll have the money to buy what I want. Okay,
and not to expound on that point just real quick, I've noticed, especially in pressure washing, that when someone asks a question in one of those groups, where should I start? The guys are always trying to sell them on the $20,000 rig. You need this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean that little shitty pressure washer? You need to spend $10,000. You know what I mean?
The guy drives a fucking Yugo that his wife gave him to start his business, and he's going to tow a 4,000-pound trailer without any
Yugo. I'm going to look for a Yugo, and I'm going to sure shine that bitch. I'm going to wrap it.
Yes.
Yeah, that power washing equipment can get up there.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I hate it.
I mean, even window cleaning stuff, some of it can get up there, but some of it's just insane. I mean,
those 12-inch squeegees, man, they're expensive.
Right. Well, I tell you, right now I'm researching pressure washing stuff because I'm looking to build something specifically for my needs and to be super efficient. You know what I mean? Because what I do now, I don't do efficiently, and I would like to have a setup for pressure washing that the same along the lines as I do for window cleaning with my water fed
hook it up and
system.
go. Yeah, hook it up
just
and go.
Hook it up and go. That's what I want to do. And I can tell you, just by going and looking, like just piecing it together, in some instances you are gonna save almost half the money. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I go to one place, I'm like, this is kind of what I'm looking for, but not exactly what I'm looking for. Let me check out how much I can get this engine for and this pump for, and put it all together myself. Which some people are not mechanically inclined. I get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there is a little thought to that stuff. So some skids are probably worth it to some people, or some people are just like, I don't care, I got the money, I'm going to buy this. But if you're a baller on a budget, you could save some money if you shop around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is, shopping around.
Yeah, there's a lot of good hot water skids, like from Pressure Pro, for example, that are well priced. They're not, $25,000 on this special skid that gets uploaded with a forklift for maintenance, things like that. See, I mean, you can really spend a minimal amount of money, $10,000 or less. I could set you up for $10,000 and you'd be fine for the most part.
Right.
This $30,000 stuff that I've seen people spend, and in some cases, $80,000 on certain setups.
Dude, we have. I've said it. We have lawn service is huge in Florida because it's year round. Okay. And you could sit at a red light, and there'd be 3 or 4 big 24-foot trailers with the little dump trucks. I mean, on every corner. Now it's the same way with pressure cleaning and soft washing. I see guys spending $100,000, easy $100,000, 500-gallon water tank, 500-gallon chem tank, 4 hot water machines across the back, hose reels, like enough hose to go from here to Ohio. And I'm like, and this guy's bidding at 5 cents a square foot compared to the guy that's got the.
They don't know what they're getting into.
Yeah, and those are
Willie Bin Company, where they go around and they set these trucks up for cleaning garbage cans.
I got in trouble with that one because I thought that was a joke.
But I mean, $70,000, $80,000 for that, and I don't know, man. I just
listen. it's hard enough to get someone to pay for window cleaning, let alone cleaning your trash can.
Right.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought it was
I've
a
seen
joke.
some of those. I've seen some of those setups, and it's just like, good Lord, to clean trash cans. I mean, that's how much you need to get into it. Jeez.
Well, look at Josh. Josh picks up dog duty with salad tongs, and he's making a living.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Dude, listen,
Honey,
you
where's
can't
the
listen.
he's
Josh cleans windows. He pressure washes. You're such a
Where's
dick.
Honey, where's the crouton pickers? Oh, let me go out to the truck and get them.
They might smell a little bit, but they're still good.
Yeah.
Salad tongs. Crouton pickers. Man, I feel bad
Probably
for
works
Josh
well,
because
though.
you roast him like every podcast, and he's never here to defend
You know why?
himself.
Well,
Because he doesn't come on. He's supposed to be here.
He's a 30-day Lent thing for social
Yeah.
media or whatever. So
Yeah,
he's
he's
won't
off
even know
on
what
he's
to
off for
say
Lent.
until
He
after
doesn't even
Easter.
know what we're doing. Yeah,
Right.
he's off of social media for Lent.
He does he still have that thing on his head?
What?
I thought the salad tongs might have flicked one the wrong way.
So stupid. Unbelievable.
There's a couple questions on there, T. I think one of them is for Tim, so you might want to look.
I don't what.
Well,
no. You read them off then.
Okay.
I don't care.
Well,
Tonight's your night, buddy. You're running the show. I love it.
You know woohoo. Mark, what's your thoughts on portable water tanks? I have a couple of storefronts with no spigot. Well, I carry 2 5-gallon buckets, and that gets me through most of my day. I don't water-fed pole storefronts ever. So I don't see where, unless you're doing that, water-fed pole, then you need a portable system. Then Ron Heisler, what's the difference between stage 10 and stage 20? Is it 4-stage? Is that one of your systems, Tom?
Tom.
Talking about the dash 10 and dash 20 on the carts.
Yes. Yeah, he's asking a question.
So original cart that we had was a 10-inch DI filter like you see on a majority of the systems out there. So when we started with the little beast and started running dual ROs, you just need more DI space, so to speak, to flow through that efficiently. So then we just took that and converted our other carts to hold the 20s as well. And all that means is you're going to get twice the lifespan of the DI filter on those single RO units. And the second reason, when it comes time to change your DI filter, instead of paying like $70 for a 10-inch, we sell the 20s for like $90. So you're going to have a huge cost savings down the road for the lifespan of your DI filters.
Nice.
So other than that, they perform the same way. If you're in a higher TDS area, you definitely go with the 20. But if you're not doing window cleaning with water fed pole a lot, or you're in a low TDS area, you can get away with the 10 if you wanted to.
Awesome.
Nice. Now, are your filters unique to your system, or is that more of a not that we would source
like proprietary?
Yeah.
No, we don't do it. We wanted to stay away from proprietary filters, because what if we go out of business in 5 years, or what if the units we sell are eliminated? We don't want you to have to not use your system, so we use standard filters that you can get anywhere. You're not obligated to spend. And plus the cost. I mean, people who use proprietary filters, and I don't want to knock them, but the end scheme there is to have to purchase from them forever for your replacements, and they jack up the prices, and it's kind of ripping people off. So I kind of don't want to deal with that. I want to give people, hey, if they run out of something, they can get it somewhere local until they can get one from us. So we just use standard filters, and that's the reason.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Shoo. Mark, do you have any tricks? Mark, you have any tricks to fix a yellow water-fed hose that after time the rubber caves in and won't allow water through? Yes, go buy another rubber hose. Jesus,
if it's that
bastard.
long that it's coming apart, you've made enough money. It's time to retire it.
Yes. Hey, is there any way I can fix this torn hose? Yeah, put a hose bar on it. Go buy another hose.
Yeah. I use 3/8 airline because I've never had it rupture, and it's relatively inexpensive and it's light. Yeah. But don't go to Harbor Freight and buy plastic hose, because you spend a few more bucks and get a nice rubber hose that has the cord running through it. It's less kink. You can abrade it, you can beat it, and it doesn't blow up. It's probably 2 layers. You know, it's like pressure washing hose. You could buy a single layer, like I bought a hot water machine and was running regular pressure washer hose, and that thing was blowing hoses every month because the steam permeates through and rots the inside. So it's the same thing with this. You spend a few more, you know, don't buy $1 a foot, spend $1.50 and get something that's going to last you 10 years. If you take care of it, you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, in the long run.
Any more questions before we get ready to shut this one down? I mean, we went an hour 45 with Tommy's like, man, I don't know if I want to stay for the whole time. You guys are kind of stupid.
It's fun. I mean, that makes all the difference in the world. So, I mean, I can't believe it's already been an hour and 45 for that.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It goes by a lot faster than you think. You know what I mean? It just like that. But I would like to urge guys in the Outlaw Window Cleaner Network group to, you know, make sure we're going to hold you to posting a link in your group, you know, in the group, so we know so people know where to go. You know what I mean?
I promise I'll sit up on that. You know, it's been fun. Trevor kind of lit a fire under me when it comes to social media. So I've seen the progress in Instagram. So I mean, it's to me, it's like a new fun thing to do. So I'll definitely be on there more in the future. So
awesome.
And I would get to hang out with you guys on a podcast. So if I didn't jump on,
No, it's
right. Well, it's been super awesome to get to talk to you, get to know you, the honest approach, and you know, I mean, you're winning people over, you know, with just the fact that you used to be a window cleaner, and you seem like you just want to do shit the right way, and I can dig that. You know what I mean? I know a lot of other guys can dig that too. You know what I mean? So it's you know, it was super duper pleasure having you on for sure. I don't know about everyone else
too. And I just wanted to mention one thing I wanted to touch base with on our Viper poles. Most of the poles you see out there, and this is important, and I like to promote it this way because it's honesty. Our poles, when we tell you it's a 35, it's an extended 35-foot pole. It's not a 25-foot pole that you can reach 30 feet with. So, you know, we tell you like our products, our poles, our actual length, and that's the reason why they might be 2 pounds heavier compared to some of the poles, because we have a whole nother section in there. So that's one thing that guys need to get educated on, because there's a lot of that goes on the market out there with water-fed pole sales. It's like they promote a 45, but it's realistically it's only a 40-foot pole, you know. So
it's like my lift. My lift is a TM50. But that's with a 5-foot person standing in it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So those are the little things that I just.
Where in your case, it's a TM 42.
Yeah, here we go. It's a 43. Yeah. So let me ask you one more. Sorry to interrupt you, Tom, but do you guys manufacture a short pole that can go behind the seat of a truck? You know, because that seems to be the new thing,
like a mini pole.
We don't say the M word, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't say the M word. Small.
Other people do use that.
Micros.
Look, I got them. They're good.
Yeah, micro is acceptable. What's that?
We've got a mini coming out. It's in the works. In fact, I just ordered one for test purposes.
Cool. Nice.
It's gonna be like.
I can tell you that's something that I think that's my favorite thing about the poles that I have now, is the fact they can just go right into my toolbox in the back of my truck. Boom, I got a cross cab box. I just open it up, boop, set it in there, good to go. You know what I mean? I don't have to. Someone actually asked can you add on to the Viper pole, and I'm very certain that you can't you?
Any
you gave
pole,
an extension with the
you get
price
35,
package.
You can add the sections from the 45 and go all the way up to the 9 and 10 section of the 65 if you wanted to. So yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, guys, we will. I don't know. What do you guys? You think we'll come back Sunday or no? Do you guys want to do a podcast Sunday?
Man.
I guess we'll do a podcast Sunday.
You guys must be getting busy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's starting to turn up
out there.
Yeah. We starting to get turned up for sure. Yeah.
Schedule's getting full.
Yep,
Yeah.
me too.
It's going to be a crazy year, man. I think for everybody. I mean, in a good way. I think
In a good way.
It's
I know
a good
Outlaw
economy.
Window Cleaner. I know we are. Yeah, I know we're moving forward. We're moving in a more positive direction. Like having guys like you on, and just bringing some refreshment. You know what I mean? Instead of talking about the same old thing. So it was really refreshing having you on and just having a good talk about gear and just being Just,
I agree. I totally enjoyed it. Yeah.
I
So
can't believe
if you
we couldn't
guys-
share it tonight, man.
Yeah, that sucks that we couldn't share it. We had like 12 less viewers than we normally do. We only had 20 this whole time. We suck.
Share them in
I
other
tried-
Facebook groups, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't share anywhere because
Facebook is down.
Facebook's
Facebook
down.
is down.
Have you guys been experiencing problems with browsers like Mozilla and Google Chrome and things like that just not working the way they used to work?
Yes,
Updates,
I'm
they're
telling
always
you,
updating.
man, there's something is going
Something's going on.
Yeah,
Something's
the
going on.
NSA is on the case.
Gilbert, did you know my Facebook page was hacked the other day, Gilbert?
It was too. This is Ron Musgraves. I had way too much to drink. I mean, I was hacked.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, that wasn't my wiener.
Yeah, I hate my WCA show. That guy's a character.
Yeah, he's something else.
yeah.
We tried to get him on the podcast, but he stood us up, man.
He
Yeah,
was
I saw
drinking. I was like, that's no excuse to drink on the podcast.
Yeah,
all the
he's like,
time,
I'm drinking.
man.
I'm like, Tim's always drunk. That's not an excuse.
Right, that's no excuse.
Well,
Shit.
guys, if what are the websites? www.purewaterpower.com, correct? And what is the other one?
CWCSupplyUSA.com.
There you go.
And
check it out.
For Outlaw Window Cleaning group members, I meant to do it today, but it will be up tomorrow. If you go onto the CWCSupplyUSA.com site and you want to order some window cleaning equipment or water pit pulls or what have you, I will have a promo code that you can input through the checkout, and it will be just the word Outlaw, all lower caps, just Outlaw. You'll
Awesome.
get a 10% discount on your orders.
Oh,
Awesome.
I don't know about
There
the
you
length
go,
of that. I
guys.
might
So
do
if
it
you-
for the rest of the month or maybe in 45 days, who knows?
Awesome.
As long as it'll
awesome.
take
So-
it, you can have it.
Yeah, awesome.
All
There
right.
you go,
But
guys.
it will,
So
I will put it up till at least the end of March, but I may go longer
Okay.
for you guys. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what,
Cool.
what transpires with it.
cool. Awesome.
So that'll
awesome.
be up, around 11 or 12 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. We're
There
on
you
West
go.
Coast time, so it won't get done till like
Right.
8:30.
So tomorrow
Cool, man.
night, if you want to go to CWC and buy some window cleaning gear, if you type in Outlaw, all lowercase, you'll get a 10% discount, man. There you go, guys. Boom. Buy some stuff from this gentleman.
Oh, Tanner's
Jeez.
going to buy some equipment.
Yeah,
I
tomorrow.
am.
Tanner's
Yeah,
buying
boy.
something. Hey,
And listen,
Tanner's
thing
going to
is-
buy the most stuff because he's rich.
Yeah.
Tom, you'll realize that I have this OCD thing where, for the most part, I buy two of everything because I just have to. So yeah.
Hey,
Awesome.
OCD is a good thing. It just
Right.
means you act kind of funny, but some of the most intelligent people out there are OCD. So
Yeah.
take it
Yeah.
for what it's worth.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It means you're a
Thank you,
thinker.
Tom. We really appreciate you, man. Guys, go check out his websites. If go to www.outlawwindowcleaner.com, buy some t-shirts and stuff, and don't forget lowercase Outlaw will get you 10% discount at CWC. We'll see you guys Sunday. Thank you, Tom. Everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you
Great
guys.
talking
Peace.
to you.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, PM me your address and I'll send you some promo stuff.
Sweet.
All right.
Peace.